Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Radesh, for the nice Kirtan. Hare Krishna. Welcome all to today's Ramadan 2021 program. So as I informed earlier, due to requirement of submissions, so I'm hosting this program from my office. So please accept my apologies for that. And by Krishna's mercy, today we are into, I think, the fifth book, Elevation to Krishna Consciousness. So today we are fortunate to have with us His Grace. So is my voice clear? Because I was wearing the mask. Is it clear? Okay, Hare Krishna. So we are fortunate to have with us His Grace Shyama Chandra Das. So he is going to take us through elevation to Krishna consciousness. So Shyamachandra Prabhu is a disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, and Shyamachandra Prabhu is involved in a lot of seva in the Krishna store and Kirtan Dubai programs with Harinam Prabhu, and he is assisting actively in the outreach programs to labor camps. So whenever I give any seva, he readily takes, even if it is at the last moment. So let us all welcome His Grace Shyamachandra Prabhu with a Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Hare Krishna Prabhu, over to you. You have been made the co-host, I think, 1 minute. So which one you want to be made as a co-host, Prabhu? I can see Shyamachandra. I also can see Radesh. Which one do you want, Prabhu? Prabhu, you are on mute.
Prabhu Shyamachandra.
Shyamachandra. 1 minute. Vasant Prabhu, can you make Shyamachandra as a co-host? Yes, Prabhu.
Done,
yes.
Prabhu.
So it's done now. So you can share your presentation. So over to you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam to all the assembled devotees. So very, very fortunate to get this opportunity to talk on this particular subject, even though not at all qualified. So elevation to Krishna consciousness. There are so many elevated devotees are there, but I'm not elevated, so I'm taking this class today. So please forgive me now only. So I'm asking now only though that I should not make any mistake. If any mistake, so please forgive me. So yes, this is the order from the leader of this Ramadan 2021 group to take this seva. So let us chant the pranam mantra, then we'll start. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadaptikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavansha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Naguna Tanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha, He Krishna Karuna Sindhu, Dinabandhu Jagatpate, Gopesha Gopika Kanta, Radha Kanta Namostute, Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi, Radhe Vrindavaneshwari, Vishabhanu Sute Devi, Pranamami Hari Priye, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadara, Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I will share the see this, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
Audible, right? Clear, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. It is clear.
Okay. So today we are 16th or 17th class. So we are in the class. The topic is elevation to Krishna consciousness. There are many good subject we have come across in past several days. So it was wonderful to like last couple of days, like we were listening Raja Vidya. So very again a deep subject. So now after the Raja Vidya, how we can elevate to Krishna consciousness, we can see I have made the presentation, nothing from my side. I have taken everything from Srila Prabhupada's book, just copy and pasted. That's it. I don't want to put my things on that. But yes, this is written by our own great, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, founder Acharya International Society for Krishna Consciousness. First printing 1973, 100,000 copies. So it was printed in 1973. So what is there in elevation to Krishna consciousness? There are 6 topics are there. So choosing human and animal life, hard struggle for happiness, toward a peaceful society, knowing Krishna as he is, knowing Krishna's energies, taking to Krishna consciousness. So there are this most of the topics we normally hear, like choosing human and animal lives. These topics are we are all come across many of the topics we covered. But yes, what Srila Prabhupada says in this particular book, Elevation to Krishna Consciousness, let us see. So we'll start with choosing human and animal life. So Prabhupada immediately before starting anything in this particular topic, he put this. That is what I was also thinking that before talking to anything, so this particular shloka we should chant. So we already chanted, but again we'll chant this Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmitam Mena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances to my spiritual master who has opened my eyes, blinded by the darkness of ignorance with the torchlight of knowledge. without the mercy of Guru and Gauranga, it is definitely not able to talk on such elevated topics. It is definitely not from me. It is all whatever I can talk or I can present. Everything goes to Shiksha Guru or Yatra leader, all the assembled devotees, all senior or junior, whatever devotees, and our great Srila Prabhupada, Shivala Prabhu, Srila Prabhupada, and Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So this blessing want to take, and let me start the today's. Like all conditioned souls are subject to four defects, right? We are all conditioned souls. We are all part and parcel of Lord, but we are all in the material world. We are becoming conditions in the condition. We have certain conditions and four defects. We all come up with four defects. Whether someone say yes or no, but Prabhupada says yes. That is, but we have to accept that. We cannot argue with Prabhupada whatever he says. Yes, we are come up with these four defects. What? Commit mistakes. Definitely, I don't think so. Anyone who does not, he never made mistake in his whole life. Everyone makes mistake, right? One or other way from the beginning, from birth. Yes, from birth to some days, maybe we don't know anything, so we may not miss. Once we come to certain stage, definitely we make mistake, and when we become, more and more age, so we tend to make more mistake. Somehow or other way, we connected to Krishna consciousness. Maybe some quantity of making mistake is reduced, but still mistakes are happening. So that is we are in this. As I said, we are in a condition. We are having a condition. We are a conditioned soul. So when illusions, everything is illusion. What we see, what we do, what we hear, sometime all mundane things. Many things are illusion apart from Krishna consciousness, as Prabhupada says. So many like committing mistakes, we see many things are happening in this world. Like many times. Many times we come across many people are giving so many things. In one of the shop you see, like one shop, if you see in any of the mall, like Paris, like Pierre Cardin, something like that, whole year 75% offer. So people are, yes, we know they are cheating. It is, they are, they are doing cheating, and we are making mistake to go and buy those things. So this kind of things are happening. So we have to be very careful without doing that such kind of mistakes again and again. So and like one of the, it is given in this book only, like Prabhupada given, like Mahatma Gandhi. We all know Mahatma Gandhi, the great person. So he made a mistake, like even though he knew to, and before enter to that final the speech where he was killed. So someone told that there is a assassination. Someone is going to kill you. So the Mahatma Gandhi didn't listen. So he made a mistake. He paid price for that. So that's what, like great scholars, uh, big scholars, they make mistakes to some or other way. So we are nothing, but we try to overcome these mistakes by by rendering devotional service more and more, chanting. Like this we'll go on these topics, how it will how we can overcome all these things. Then illusions is being, illusion means accepting something which is not right, taking some phantasmagoria, some very difficult word from this book to be factual. So no, but it's different things, something which is not, which we are assuming as it is actual. Every one of us is under the impression that we are these bodies, right? That is the biggest illusion. But actually, we are not. Accepting the body to be the self is called illusion or Maya. So we are all thinking like, this is our body, we have to take care of our body. A lot of things we are buying, from food to till head, buying so many things, investing so many things for that. So that is illusion. So, and the nice way, we have so many shops, will get that, people will come, seeing my hand, they will call, come and will, cure your problem, hair lossing problem, like this. It is illusion. So they call and do these things, and we become victim for that. So then, cheating propensity. Third one is cheating propensity. This we can see everywhere. Everyone is trying to cheat one another. So as I said, shops are having, malls are having 25%, 75%. How they can sell 75% offer? So it is just cheating. It is, on the face they're cheating us, right? So this, somehow I come across one of the big giant retail shops, cost sheet. The cost sheet of some, let's say, retail sheet. I was working on the project. So when I saw the cost of that item, I was shocked. In the shop, they're selling 10 to 15 times, starting from 10 and 15 times the cost. So if it is 10 dirham of the cost, they're selling for 150 dirham, 120 dirham, 130 dirham. Can you imagine we are easily got cheated for that. And we see, we go, nice, put the color, and if you go in the evening, they put different light. It is attracting our eyes, and we go and buy for it. End up with paying so much of money. So that is cheating, and the schools, and nowadays schools and colleges, they teaching, this is kind of a big business, big scam or mafia. And in Bombay and all, people are not going to school; they go into coaching classes. So uh, many things are happening. They straight away cheat others. So, like my brother son, he was there in ninth or 10th. He's never gone to, hardly going to school. So when I'm asking, the school is the teacher, the school teacher only teaching the in the coaching class, and they are telling only to go to school. If you come to the coaching class, you don't need to go to the school. This is the way they propagate. So to the students. So this is the big cheating propensity in everywhere we see. So we cannot avoid this. We have to live with this, right? We have to live with this kind of people. So then is the senses of the living entity are not perfect. Our vision is so limited that we cannot see very far away nor very near. The eye can see only under certain conditions, and therefore it is understood that our vision is limited. Similarly, all our other senses are also limited. It is not possible to understand the unlimited by these imperfect, limited senses. The conclusion is that the Vedic process does not encourage us to endeavor to learn the absolute truth by employing our present senses, which are conditioned in so many ways. If we are to have knowledge, it must come from the superior sources, which is not conditioned by these four imperfections. That source is Krishna. He is the supreme authority of Bhagavad Gita, and he is accepted as the perfect author by as many saints. But since we are in this defects, we cannot understand unless until we come out from these four defects. It is very difficult to understand who is Krishna, what is Bhagavad Gita. Somehow other way, so we got connected to the devotees of the Lord. So we escaped from that, but still we tend to make mistakes. This this all going on. So moving on to those who are serious students of Vedic literature accept authority. Bhagavad Gita is not a scholarly presentation which arose out of so much research work. It is perfect knowledge, that because many now current situation, if you invent something like now COVID things going on, vaccination. So people have started here 2 years back, think something, so much of investment, researching. End of the day, it is not working. So this is what current world, the scientific world, so-called philosophy, this world is going on. But as a spiritual, not scholar, you don't need to have anything. What is there as it is, Bhagavad Gita as it is. If we learn, if we adopt whatever things given in that, life will be perfect. It is perfect knowledge that was taught by Lord Krishna to Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And we receive information from it that in previous ages. So in Bhagavad Gita, it is said 4.1. It is said that Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavam Aham Avyayam Vivasvan Manave Praha Manur Ikshakvave Apravid. So this is said, Sri Krishna taught it to the sun god, Vivasvan. And Vivasvan instructed it to Manu, the father of mankind. And Manu in turn instructed to the Ikshvaku. So later there was a gap. Then 5,000 years back, Lord Himself came to this world, this earthly world, and it was in Dvaparayuga where He spoke to Arjuna. So we have so many literatures, right? So many spiritual books. So there are 4 Vedas, like Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Samar Veda, Athar Veda, some like 108 Upanishads and Puranas, like Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. So many literatures are there. These literatures are not meant for any particular class of men, but for the totality of human society. All societies can take advantage of Vedic knowledge to perform human life. As pointed out before, human life is not meant for sense gratification, but for understanding God, the universe, and our own identity. Who am I, right? That we have to identify, find out who am I, why I'm here, why I have to come here, what is my goal, right? So these things, instead of we are understanding this, and the big scholars, scientists, and all, they are putting their energy and everything to identify many things, which is nowhere going. So that is what happening here. Like those who are serious students, like if we study Bhagavad Gita according to academic knowledge or according to our own mental speculation, we are certainly commit mistakes, right? It is not possible to understand. When I started Bhagavad Gita initial stage, it was not, it was all bouncing. We have to go through a particular, devotees who are bona fide initiated or devotees who can give right knowledge, and we can understand that. Bhagavad Gita in this way, it is necessary to follow, sir, carefully in the footsteps of Arjuna, where Lord spoke to Arjuna, right? In previous ages, due to interpretation and mental speculation, the real purport of Bhagavad Gita was lost in between. Therefore, Krishna re-established the teaching by giving this uh, Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, so that we all can benefit on this. So here in 7.4.5 in Bhagavad Gita again, Lord says, Bhumi apo anilo vayu tham mano buddhir evacha ahankara itiyam me vinna prakriti astradha apareyam itasvam manyam prakritim vidhi me param jiva bhutam mahabaho yayedam dharyante jagat. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. 8 elements, right? 5 gross and 3 subtle elements comprises. These 8 comprises my separated material energy. Lord says this. Besides this inferior nature, O mighty Arjuna, there is a superior energy of mind, which is all living entities who are struggling with material nature and sustaining the universe. So we all struggling, right? We are all like struggling for existence. Darwin theory saying, like struggling for existence. We are all struggling for many things, but we, before coming to the Krishna conscious, we all say that. But if any Krishna conscious devotees come and ask for this, join in Hare Krishna movement, you'll be happy. Say chant Krishna, Hare Krishna, be happy. No, we don't want to, come easily. It will take ages to get into the Krishna conscious movement. Everyone, many devotees, which is suddenly, immediately they join, but many of us, we have took our own sweet time to join, because normal tendency to say that this will be learned or practiced at the age of retired age. So it is a common, even I also told, when I before joining to ISKCON. So this is the common statement people gives that. So like that. So I think Gauranga Prabhu, I was listening to his lecture. So in the US, he went to one of the house, it seems. So they invited for some donation. So then as soon as he visited to their house, they bought a big pack of book. So they're opening in front of him. So he asked, "What is this?" "This is Bhagavad Gita, Prabhu. We bought some 5-6 years back. Some of the devotee came and given to us. We were, it was waiting for you to come and inaugurate." This is what happening. They are the pure Gujarati family, it seems. So this is what happened. Gaurang Prabhu is saying this is what happens if we don't give some time to this spiritual with knowledge. Otherwise, we will keep this book. Many, everyone, most of the Indians have this book. They keep and they do agarbatti and they go away. So this is what happens. That's what he used to tell. So this we have been suffering from this beginning birth, and we we grow little, and we have to go to school. All these things. It is a cycle, right? How much difficulty we are going through to come to get some knowledge. It is not easy. It is not easy. So much of difficulty, but still we that four defects, because of that four defect, we will tend to make mistakes, we will illusion, that is there. As long as it is there, it is not leaving us to come out of that and to understand what is spiritual knowledge, what is Bhagavad Gita, who is Krishna, what is his position, what is our position. It is very, very difficult. So actually, just to give my son known Rajesh, I nowadays I used to sit with him for seeing what is happening when his class is going on. So they are all, sometimes we try to, scold our kids if we are not knowing what is happening in the classes. Right now we know what is happening in the classes. They are in the rat race. We can see. We are also, but yes, from our side, I can see there was no in fifth standard. I never had a good class. I never been to class, or so serious class things are happened. But now, from the grade KG1, things are so strict. They have to do this, has to be done. So many homework, so many things have to be done. There is no space for them to think other things. So this is what material education. So they are not, unless until they put some spiritual education, spiritual topics. It is very difficult to cope up with this thing. And recently we all heard, maybe like Saudi Arabia introduced our Mahabharata and Ramayana in their syllabus. That was the great thing. The Muslim country is introducing our original scripture in their syllabus. That is a great thing. Things are changing, but in our country, we just have to pull, I think, push a lot of to our government, so that they will also come up with this kind of schemes. So, like, uh, so this is the Lord says, and Lord says again in 15.6 that all the material universe are clustered together. So beyond these clusters of countless material universes is the spiritual sky, which is also mentioned in Bhagavad Gita like 15.6, like Natha Bhasayate Shiryo Saryo Nasa Shankana Pavaka Yad Gatvana Nivartante Tadhama Paramam Mama. That abode of mine is not illuminated by the sun or moon, nor by electricity, and anyone who reaches it never comes back to this material world, right? So, Lord's spiritual world is nothing, no electricity, nothing is required. Everything is automatically, everything happens its own. Lord's glance, everything, whatever we need, whatever we desire, we get everything. That's what Lord says in this particular verse. So moving, the Vedic religion or Varnashrama Dharma is also called eternal because no one can trace out its beginning. If we try to trace out the original or origins of Vedic religion, we will not be able to find the beginning. Varnashrama Dharma is accepted as the eternal religion of the living entity. As we all know, Christians religion, it would have started 2000 years ago, right? So at Muhammad, Prophet Muhammad, so 1300, around 1300 years ago. So like for us, for our religion, religion, Vedic religion, it is no end. When it is started, we don't know. As we rightly, first Sloka only stated, the Lord is instructed this particular Vedic literature to Vivaswan. So the sun god. So sun, when sun born, we don't know. No one knows. So God created this material world, and this means that God existed before the world, right? Prabhupada is saying very clearly, God created this material world. So we are living in this material, we know that. So this material world is created by the Lord, then God exists before that, definitely. So it is stated in 9.45, Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat avyakta martinam mastina sarva bhutani Macha Tesha Avastita Nacha Matsani Bhutani Pashyami Yogam Aishwaram Bhuta Bhram Nacha Bhutasto Mamatma Bhuta Bhavavara. In my transcendental form, I pervade all this creation. All things are resting in me, but I am not in them. Again, everything that is created does not rest on me. Behold my mystic opulence. Although I am the maintainer of all living entities, and although I am everywhere, still myself is the very source of creation. So, Lord very clearly giving in this particular things, everything created, but He's not in that. So everything created does not, it is not resting on Him. So it is a mystic opulences. So he is the maintainer, right? Lord is the maintainer of this material world, but nothing affects to him. So moving to at present, like Darwin's theory of the, if you talk about other people, at present Darwin's theory of the evolution of organic matter is very prominent in institution of higher learning, right? We are all learned Darwin's theory only. So from animal, man, and all, this is the theory. But in Vedic literature, there is immense information about the different species. All of these living entities are subject to the threefold miseries, including those miseries pertaining to the body and mind. Animals cannot understand that they are suffering, but human beings can, right? So we are in the topic choosing human. We are human or animals. So like this is the very nice sequence given. So we human can understand, animal cannot understand what sufferings we are going through. One who does not know that he is suffering is in animal consciousness, right? So many people say like I'm one time they are saying I'm happy, I'm living happily. All these four things, eating, mating, defending, and this four things they do. But end of the day, if you see animals also doing, we all know this, as in Krishna consciousness, we all know this particular thing. Humans should be cognizant, knowledgeable that we are suffering the pains of birth, old age, disease, and death, and should be inquisitive to know how to avoid these miseries. Right? We have some knowledge somewhere here. We are learning, even though we are learning Darwin's theory. um, so we should have inquisitive to understand why we are here. What is the purpose of our life? Some kind of knowledge must have. So that we can learn, we can get into this particular the great spiritual knowledge. Sage Rishabhadeva instruct we should know that the body not meant for sense gratification. Rishabhadeva, Lord Rishabhadeva in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, it is said. So he's preaching his sons and the people that this body is not meant for sense gratification. This is for the devotional service to rendering devotional service to Lord and to understand the position of Lord and understanding our identification. After many births, we got human life, right? We should not waste this life by working hard for sense gratification and worshipping hawks. This is what Prabhupada said. We should accept a life devoted to the cultivation of Krishna consciousness, and then we will get unlimited happiness and unlimited pleasure. This is what the punching statement by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. So we can hear many lecture of Srila Prabhupada that how Prabhupada is preaching so nicely in this particular thing. So subjects. So now we just completed the first topic. So second topic is hard struggle for happiness. So we are all struggling for happiness, right? So everyone, most of the elevated devotees are there. They may not be struggling, but since we are taken birth in this material world, we have to struggle. So whoever it is, from the kids, from the youth to household, all ages, we have to struggle, whatever whatever it may be, wherever we are going, however situation we have to struggle. Struggling is there only. So for what? For the happiness. Very contradictory statement. So struggling for happiness. We are struggling for the happiness. Every living being desires the topmost level of enjoyment in this material world, and yet everyone is unhappy here. Right? Very beautifully given by Srila Prabhupada. Every living being desires on to increase the level. So as soon as coming out from the birth, then enjoying, different, then go to the college, then go to the office, and different stages of the working. So, people and enjoying our own way, moving here, there, big houses, many things we want to do. So this unhappiness is present on all the higher planets, despite a longer lifespan, higher standards of enjoyment and comfort. So Prabhupada is saying in this, even Bhagavad Gita is saying this unhappiness, we are happy and sometimes unhappy. And most of the time is we are unhappiness. And the same thing, unhappiness is there in the higher planet also, in the Devalok also. But their lifespan is bigger, higher standards of enjoyment and comfort. That is due to the law of material nature. We can increase the duration of life and standard of the highest capacity, and yet by the law of material nature, we will be unhappy. So we are going through this material world and material nature, and that is bringing us back to think. And whatever we are earning, whatever we are doing, it is not enough. We want more. We want to do things more. we want to enjoy more, and end of the day, we become unhappy. The reason for this is that the quality of happiness which is suitable for our constitution is different from the happiness which is derived from material activities. The living entity is a minute particle of the superior spiritual energy of the Lord, which is Satchit Ananda Vigraha. And therefore, he is the necessary propensity for joy, which is spiritual in quality. Unfortunately for him, he is trying vainly to attain his enjoyment from the foreign atmosphere and all. So he want to, the, he means we want to enjoy many things. So like the theoretical negation of material activities are propounded by Sripad Shankaracharya may be effective for an insignificant section of mankind. But the best and surest way for everyone to attain spiritual bliss was propounded by Srila Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by means of devotional activity. These devotional activities can change the very face of material nature. Hankering after material happiness is called lust, right? So, and lusty activities are sure to meet with frustration. When we want more and more, it is a lust only, right? A greed. So, in the long run, the body of a snake is very poor. But if a man wanting to enjoy this cooling garland himself, coolness garland himself with the venomous snakes, like this, the Prabhupada is giving a nice analogy. So when we are want to have a garland of venomous snake, he will surely be killed by the snake's bite, venomous bite, right? Definitely, venomous snake will not be enjoying in our neck, like Lord Shiva. He is the supreme. He is the supreme devotee of Lord, but we are not. Right? Definitely, this snake will bite. The material senses are compared to snakes. Indulgence in material happiness will surely kill our spiritual identity. So, like even people, if you ask, are you happy? Like people, even though people are not happy, sometimes they say, like again, Gaurav Prabhu's lecture I'm listening. He was he was seeing so many people in Mumbai. He was giving the lecture, and one of the person he come across, and he just exchanging his knowledge, whether he can bring those people, group of people to Krishna consciousness. He has done many wonders, definitely. But he was sharing some of the incident, like he was asking some of the people, one of the person he asked it, why you are doing all these things. It is for the God is given this to enjoy, right? So we have a liquor shop, we have the meat shop, we have this and illicit sex area, and everything is given for enjoyment, right? We have to enjoy. So then he's giving then he's saying what will happen in some he had got some sense, and he just asked him, what will happen. So he, because Gauranga Prabhu said brahmachari. So and he said the guy asked what will happen after the death. Then Gauranga Prabhu is saying you'll surely go to hell. So he's saying I'm not alone. I'm going with my all friends. And all Gauranga Prabhu said all go to hell. So then he's saying I'm going to illicit sex, all these things we do. And what will happen? Definitely you will go to hell. So, and all the ladies, they'll also go to hell. Then he started, he's a smart person. He's saying, so if everyone is going to hell, let me go to hell. We will go to hell and enjoy there also. What is the problem? So Ganesh Prabhu is telling, this is the smartness in the people in this world, material world. So they want to enjoy. They don't know what is the hell, what is going to happen in hell. So this they were enjoying here the same way they can enjoy in the hellish planet also. So this is the material world, material thinking, and in the material people. So another see, like many like this, things are happening. Many places also, like many Brahmins, many things are happening. So not only Brahmins, all the type of people try to cheat, try to exploit the things from others. Someone come to know something, so they want to have accumulate more and more. They want to enjoy, uh, like current system, like that Varnashrama Dharma is not there. As Prabhupada said, everyone is Shudra now. Right, everyone is Shudra. That Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya are not there. By birth, we are Shudra only. So now, the so-called, not everyone, so-called Brahmins, they are trying to do business now. Lot of business. Initially, just to give my example only, before coming to ISKCON, just had some financial issues. Want to ask my mother told, okay, let us go and ask Brahmin. No, they can give some solution. It is there, still there. Still, if I am going to my village, people still going there. They're going to the same Brahmin. They're asking, and I also went and asked my mother. I didn't ask my mother. I was there. I was sitting and asked her, and he immediately. This is the thing trend now. They immediately said, Shanti. That is the one you have to do a Shanti for it. So what is the cost? That time around 15, 20 years back, I think it is 5,000 rupees. So hardly 1.5 hours they did some mantra and all. They do Shanti. That's it. This is the things, and I come across the devotees. I become a devotee. Then later my mother took again to do some puja at home, same Braham Bhatt. So my mother immediately before he is telling anything, he told that he's a Krishna devotee now. He was just before, he wanted to give some suggestion, but the way he changed his the conscious is changing before telling something. So even though he is cheating like this, but when he come to know I am a devotee of Krishna, he changed this topic. Yes, we can do this way, and your son is good now. He's taken a very good step to go to Krishna consciousness. So, so I like it that whatever he's doing, then he openly told me that yes, we are doing that Brahminical the culture. It is not there now for many devotees, many Brahmins in that particular area. That is not there. Everyone now trying to do business. So we are not ready to do, but there is a demand. People are coming and asking, like you. There are many hundreds of people coming and asking, I'm going through this problem, that problem, what can be done? So that is what is happening. So that is why there are so many Swamis are every day. Prabhupada is telling every hour there is one bogus Swamis are coming because there is a demand. There is a demand. There is a big demand. That is why these Swamis are coming. Otherwise, how? There is a demand. There should be a supply, right? If there is no supply, this demand is keep on increasing. Not only Indian people, we can see there are so many Westerners are coming and sitting with these bogus Swamis. They are asking so many questions. They are living with them. So many things are happening. This is the world. It's a hypocrisy, right? So everyone is trying to cheat others. That's what Gauranga Prabhu's another lecture is saying. How to make millions sitting under the tree. This is the new concept, new concept. We can write the book on that. Is telling how to make millions of rupees sitting under the tree. Very simple. Sit under the tree, call 4-5 our people and put some tilak, naam, and all, put some, rudraksha, this one, mala, and say some shloka, learn some shloka, and you become a big Swami. So people come and coincidentally, uncoincidentally, something he gave that will happen to one person that become a big news, and hundreds of people, thousands of people coming and pouring in, and he become a millionaire within a year. And we are here dying for ages, to make some money, and people sitting there, sitting under a tree, small hut or something, they made million now. So that is what Garanga Prabhu is sharing on this lecture. We are struggling here, and people are enjoying that, fooling others. This is what we are staying in the material world, and in front of us, things are happening. So, current situation also, we can see how because of all this exploited and cheating and everything done, what we are, past 1.5 year, what is happening, we are stuck in one place. So I was my own customer before, before the corona. He was telling, he was so busy, he never stationed in one place for 15 days, 16 in office or in Dubai. His main station is Dubai, in India or any place. He was traveling everywhere. He never stationed in one place for so many years for 15 days. He was telling. And see what happened. And recently I met him. He was telling the whole thing is changed. Past one more than 1 year, I never, gone anywhere out of my house. He was the changes are happening very soon. The corona killed and everyone. They had so much. They are making money. So much of money. Why to travel so much to make money? Do this, do that. No time. As we all know, how Prabhupada, one of the lecture, he was saying, in Gujarat somewhere, one of the Gujarati came and asked Prabhupada that he was thinking that this Swami also, like all other Swamis, he will give some idea. So he came and asking Prabhupada that, Prabhupada, I'm going to, I have so many factories here, Mumbai, Chennai, Delhi, Kolkata, everywhere. So, but I can't peacefully sleep. What can be done? So this is what happening, and Prabhupada instantly said, give all your business to us, you peacefully sleep. We will take care of your business. That person is shocked of his life. No, Prabhupada, no, Swamiji, I will take care of. Thank you. He started running away. Prabhupada, no, you come here, you give your address, we will come there. No, I will come. Means then finally he has to give his address, and then Prabhupada was sharing to the devotees, like, see the people, what kind of people are there. Millions, crores of people he's having, and he don't have peace to sleep at night. So this is what in Kali Yuga things are happening. So in Bhagavad Gita, it is said that 8.16, the material world is described as being full of miseries. Brahma bhuvane loka punar avartino arjuna mamupetya tu kaunteya punar janmana vidyate. From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are places of misery. All our places are misery, where repeated birth and death takes place. But one who attains to my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth. This is what Lord says in 8.6. So who are again in 16.1, who are not engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Supreme Lord, wrongfully think that they are accumulating so much money day after day. So in 16.12, it is said, Asa pasa sater buddha, kama krodha parayanaha, ehante kama bhogartam, anyayena sarchaya. Being bound by hundreds and thousands of desires, by lust and anger, they secure money by illegal means for sense gratification. Right? So as there are many ways people are, if they can't easily earn money, they can go any extent to accumulate money. So we all know in the newspaper or any kind of channel media. So people are killing people for 5,000, 10,000 rupees, 15,000 rupees. The value of one person, 15,000 rupees. People are killing. This is what happening in I saw, I heard from say Prabhu's lectures that one time, one of the criminal in Mumbai, he got thousands of letters from thousands of people that they want to join in criminal field, because this is the easy way. They are thinking this is the easy way to make money. So this is what is happening in this material world. So wealth is worshipful, right? Wealth is worshipful and is refers to as Mother Lakshmi, or the goddess of virtue. It is her position to serve Lord Narayana, the source of all the Naras or living beings. The Naras are also meant to serve Narayana under the guidance of the goddess of fortune. The living being cannot enjoy the goddess of fortune without serving Narayana. And therefore, whoever desires to enjoy her wrongly will be punished by the laws of nature. We used to go in our own community, like Kannada community, Mangalore community. We used to attend like Vara Mahalakshmi Puja and Satyanarayana Puja in South India. Many times we do this. So we used to, after joining also ISKCON also, we used to go these two, pujas. It's a big celebration, very big celebration. Thousands of people are coming. People are wearing nice, big, saris, ladies' saris and gents, and very nice, glittering things, full of gold, all these things. Uh, that was the last time I attended in I think in JSS school. That was the eye opening for me also, because till that time I was going, yes, it is a Lakshmi Puja, let us go, and Satyanarayana Puja, it is not wrong to attend that. So they invited one of the Brahmin, good Brahmin. I said all Brahmins are not good. Please don't take me wrong. There are so many good Brahmins are there. They giving a good knowledge, and they invited one of the Brahmins from Udupi area. So he came and he was doing the puja, and very nicely he has done. And end of the puja, he could not tolerate. He just openly on the mic he given I think 15-20 minutes. He told that this puja, because he didn't find Narayana photo near to Lakshmi. One of the observation he has done, like there was no Narayan, only Lakshmi was there, and very grand, very so many flowers, this and so many females. They're walking on the stage in front of Lakshmi, and they're walking as a catwalk in fashion show, like that, wearing so much of opulence, like gold. So then he told, this kind of puja is not done in this way. No, no, not to show off. Lord want what? Lakshmi want Narayana. You have to keep Lakshmi with Narayana. Then only Lakshmi will be satisfied, because she is with Narayana. So whatever we do, it should go to Narayana, not directly Lakshmi. And we don't need to wear so many things, because this is the spiritual. You are doing a spiritual where you need bhakti, not show off. He given left, and I was laughing inside myself. Yes, this is the eye opener for me. Then I stopped going there. So this just wanted to share, because this is what happening now also in everywhere, where Vara Mahalakshmi Puja or something like that, where there is no Narayana, only Lakshmi worshipped. The Naras are also meant to serve Narayana under the guidance of the goddess of fortune. The living being cannot enjoy the goddess of fortune without serving Narayana, and therefore whoever desire to enjoy her wrongly will be punished by the laws of nature. Definitely they will get something today or tomorrow, but it will go one day definitely. These laws will make certain that the money itself will bring about destruction instead of peace and prosperity. Proper this straight away giving this statement that they will get something worshipping her, but that will bring destruction for their peace and prosperity. So how money makes, you can see money everywhere. Everyone wants money unlimitedly, desire, lot of desire, fulfill desire, to get something, do something, uh, whatever way we want money. So but their accumulated money is taken away by the agents of illusory energy in the shape of medical uh, practitioners, lawyers, tax collectors, societies, constructions, so-called holy man, the different bogus swamis, feminine earthquakes, or natural calamities, and many similar calamities. So these are all will be taken away one day. So, and one more big thing is, now we can see Corona. Corona has taken away many people's many things. Many are business, many are lost. job, many destruction happened. We cannot see that virus, cannot see that virus. It is destructed whole world. We can see in front of us. We can see, we can hear what Shiran Swami is saying. In the beginning, this one was shared by Shiran Swami.
We are wealthy. The second person to die of COVID-19 in Spain was Antonio Vieira Montero, the chairman of Spain's largest bank, Santander. He died alone in hospital at the age of 73. But what was most notable were some words from his daughter's statement. Listen carefully to this. We are a wealthy family, but my father passed away alone, suffocating, looking for something free, which is air. The money stayed at home. Yes, the money stays at home. The bottom line is that for which you struggle throughout your life, that costs you so much time and energy and trouble, in a word, money, really won't be able to help you when you need help the most. Similarly, what gives life meaning, which is free like air, and without which life is really meaningless, namely self-realization, may pass you by unless you give it quality time and attention. Remember, when you pass away, when your soul takes another incarnation on which you have not prepared, the money stays at home.
So beautifully narrated by Shiram Swami in the beginning of Corona period. So again, the laws of nature do not allow us to accept more money than is required. Prabhupada is given very analogy, statements. There is ample arrangement by the law of nature to provide every living being his due share food, shelter, but the insatiable lust of human being have disturbed the arrangement set forth by the Lord. By the arrangement of Supreme Lord, there is an ocean of salt because salt is so necessary for the living being, right? Without salt, there is no taste. We cannot eat. Very rare we can eat things without salt. So yes, sweet things without salt we can eat, but how much we can eat sweets? But yes, salt is required. But what happens now? Bigger scam, salts also scam going on. God has in the same manner arranged for sufficient air and light, which are also essential. Anyone can collect any amount salt for personal use, constitutional. We cannot take more than what we require. If we take more salt, we spoil the whole system, right? So nature, if we take less without taking also, yes, there is food is stateless. On the other hand, if we take only what we require, taste, and we are healthy. So what we require only if we take, it is healthy. We can, there is no BP, right? Blood pressure. If you don't take more salt, I heard this again from one of the devotee. Like if you take more salt, definitely blood pressure is sure. So presently there is a great deal of concern over the fact that our natural resources are becoming polluted and exhausted. Actually, there is ample supply, but due to misuse and greed, everything is being spoiled. Where conservations and ecologists do not understand is that everything will continue to be spoiled by the insatiable lust of mankind. So this is going to happening, and whoever understood this, it will they will save. Otherwise, it is destructive. So human life by nature is full of suffering, and lower life forms are even more miserable. Any sane man with properly discriminating sense can understand that life in the material world is full of miseries, and that no one is free from the actions and reactions of such miseries. This is not a pessimistic view of life, but is an actual fact which we should not be blind to. The miseries of life are divided into three categories, namely miseries arising from the body and mind, miseries arising from the other living entities, and miseries arising due to natural calamities, Adi Bhautik, Adi Daivik, Adhyatmik, right? So a sane man must look to eliminate these miseries and thereby become happy in life. We are all trying to achieve peace and freedom from these miseries, at least unconsciously. In the higher intellectual circles, there are attempts to get rid of these miseries by ingenious plans and design. But the power that baffles all the plans and designs of even the most intelligent person is the power of Maya Devi, or the illusory energy. The law of karma or the result of all actions and reactions in the material world is controlled by this all-powerful illusory energy. The activities of this energy function according to principles and regulations, and they act consciously under the direction of the Supreme Lord. This material energy is also called Durga. No one can surpass this law of Durga by any amount of childish plans. So, like Durga means, right? She is the uh, proprietor. She is the controller, right? She is the we are all in the jail, so she is take caretaker. So she will not allow whatever happens. The suffering of humanity are caused by the misuse of the discriminative power or the little independence what we have from Lord. So, as living entities, we are part and parcel of the Supreme. So, Lord says here to Arjuna that Supreme, indeed, we actually belongs to His superior energy. As such, we may join His transcendental pastimes in our unconditioned state of life. But as long as we are conditioned by the laws of karma in contact with the inferior energy, our sufferings are our own creations, born of a gross misuse of our little independence. Material nature is, see, that's what Lord says, that we got a little independence, we have started accumulating and destructing all the material things. So material nature is subordinate to the will of the Supreme Lord, and therefore he cannot be subjected to the law of material nature. The Lord says in 7.7, Matta paramam nanya kechi dasti dhananjaya mai sarvam idam proktam sutre manigana eva. O conqueror of wealth, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread. So without thread, pearls will whatever maybe thousands of dollars. If there is no thread, what is the use? How we can hang the, how we can the poles will be we can wear the people can wear the pole chain necklace. So another in 7.13, like deluded by the three modes, goodness, passion, and ignorance, the whole world does not know me who am above them and inconceivable. The individual souls who are put into the miseries of the material world are suffering the resultant reactions of their unsanctioned activities. This is the verdict of Bhagavad Gita 16.19 said, Tandhan Vesta Krutam Sa Samsmareshu Naradhanam Dhamam Shipmami Ajasram Ashubham Asureshwa Eva Yonishu, envious, mischievous, the lowest mankind, these ever put back into the ocean of material existence, into various demoniac species of life. The parts and parcels are meant to serve the whole, and when they misuse their independence, they are subject to the miseries of the loss of matter. Just as criminals are subject to police action, the state considers its citizens to be its parts and parcel. And when a citizen misuses his relative independence, the state puts him under police authority, right? We see many things are happening in India also. We saw that so many accumulation recently in Maharashtra. One of the he is the caretaker of the public, and he is only eating all money. So what is happening? So no need to wait for next work. It is happening now only in this. No government wants its citizens to act in such a way that they must go to prison and suffer tribulations. The prison house is undoubtedly constructed by the state government. But this does not mean that the government actions. The government is not intended to build so much prison houses, right? Because of the criminals are increasing, they are constructing big prison houses. In the same way, this material world is created by the Supreme Lord, but the Supreme Lord does not will that living entities be put in it. The living entities themselves make the decision. So Lord is very clear in this. So the Supreme Lord never creates actions and reactions of an individual soul. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said 5.14.15 that the embodied spirit master of the city of his body does not create activities, nor does he induce people to act, nor does he create the fruits of action. All this is enacted by the modes of material nature, nor does the Supreme Spirit assume anyone's sinful or pious activities. Embodied beings, however, are bewildered because of the ignorance which covers their real knowledge. So again, in 10:10, it is to those who are constantly devoted and worship me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. So this is what we covered second uh, uh, second topic. So we will move to third one, toward a peaceful society, right? We are all struggling in the second topic, that struggle for happiness. So how much we struggled then, now we are moving to peaceful, toward a peaceful society. How we can make that society so peaceful. How before peaceful, how more we have to become peaceful, right? So straight Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 13.2, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, Idam Shariram Kaunteya, Kshetram Miti Abhidhiyate, Etadyo Vetti Tam Prabhu, Kshetrajna Iti Tadvidam. The Supreme Lord said, this body, O son of Kunti, is called the field, and one who knows this body is called the knower of the field. Our body called, like, if we don't know how we can make society peaceful, if we don't know what we are, what is my identity, what is my body, the knowledge of the spiritual knowledge, how we can think of making society peaceful, right? First I have to be peaceful. I have to make my body peaceful, right? So our body called Kshetra, it is our duty to cultivate them properly. That cultivation is called a karma or work. So we have to work hard to bring this body to for the devotional service, scripture, reading scripture, then we can move forward to make the peaceful society. Again, Lord says in 14.4 Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Yavneshu Kaunteya, Murthaya Sambhavantiya, Dasam Brahma Mahadyone, Aham Bija Pradapita. It should be understood that all species of life, O son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in this material nature, and that I am the seed giving father. So we should understand who is the seed giving father, none other than no one else, the Supreme Lord Himself. In this material world, the mother Prakriti, which is material nature, supplies us with body. The Supreme Father impregnates this matter with living souls. So He gives the souls, so we understand, we think what we can do good, what we can do bad, or what we have to accumulate, or we can share with the others. So when here, as soon as we understood, I do not belong to this body, Aham Brahmasmi, I am spirit soul. So once we understood, we come to this level, aham brahmasmi, I am a spirit soul. Our activities will be in accordance to the realization. He will be cease to be motivated from the material or bodily platform. Knowledge of our proper identity as separate from the body is real knowledge. But this knowledge is denied as long as we cling to bodily identification. As long as we uh, come into bodily identification, we will lose it. So that's what Satatam, we have to continuously engage with this service, devotional service, and associating with the devotees. And a child is born into ignorance, right? And if as he grows older, he remains under the bodily conception of life, unless until he lives in darkness. His position is that of a Shudra. Everyone, see, as Prabhupada is very clear, nicely giving here. So, as long as he born, is a Shudra. He doesn't know anything, what to do, what not to do. So, how the parents teaches, how the teacher teaches, same way he will learn. So in the Vedic literature, we found that in this age, everyone is born as Shudra. Prabhupada is very bluntly told everyone. That is why in many places, ISKCON is, people are, trying to uh, uh, pull out people. They don't speak much with the ISKCON devotees. Like Prabhupada is very clear that everyone is born with Shudra. Therefore, everyone requires to be educated as to his real identity. If, however, we remain satisfied with our birth by our father and mother, we will remain in our condition as Shudra. We have to rise to the Brahminical platform by following the purification processes. What is the purification process? Devotional services. So a child is born in ignorance and grows older. He remains under the bodily conception, and his position, as said, that uh, remains Shudra unless until he understand what is the purpose of life, who is God. As soon as we understand, I do not belong to this body, I am spirit soul, our activities will be in accordance to that realization, will cease to be motivated from the material or bodily platform. Knowledge of our proper identity as separate from the body is real knowledge. But this knowledge is denied as long as click with the. So next, Lord says in 4.13, Chaturvarna. See, society cannot be peaceful unless there are four divisions of. Lord is arranging very nicely everything. Four dharmas. Divisions. So human beings functioning in harmony with one another. These four divisions are comprised of Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras. They are discussed by Krsna in Bhagavad Gita, like Chaturvarna, according to the three modes of material nature and the work described to them, the four divisions of human society were created by me. And although I am the creator of this system, you should know that I am at the non-doer, being unchangeable. So these four divisions of man in human society are natural, not artificial, because in the material world, everything is operating under the influence of three modes of material nature, like goodness, passion, and ignorance. We have long lectures, long topics on Bhagavad Gita. We know how with the goodness we can go towards Brahminical ashram. Um, and with good Kshatriya, passion, and Shudra as ignorance. So again, the Lord says in 14.26, Mamchayo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunam samati yatim brahma bhuya kalpate. One who engages in full devotional service, who does not fall down in any circumstances, at once transcends the modes of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman. So there is actually our nature is that of spirit Brahman, and that nature has to be invoked, right? We having a spirit inside, but it has to invoke it. as a fire. We have to ignite it. Then only the fire will come out, right? So that is what Lord says. This material life is a diseased condition. When we are situated in Brahman, we are in our healthy condition. That healthy Brahman condition is immediately attained as soon as we engage ourselves 100% in Krishna consciousness. Very difficult, right? 100% is very difficult. So we are still, I'm not saying everyone, I'm saying myself, one leg here, one leg still there. So it is very difficult to give 100% to Krishna consciousness. So again, Lord says in 18.65, Manmana, like how we can give 100%. It is easy. The Lord is giving in Bhagavad Gita in each step how we can Manmana Bhavad Bhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru Mam Vivasyachi Satyam Je Pratijhani Priyosime. Always think of me and become my devotee. Worship me and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fear. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. He's saying this one to Arjuna. So again, we moving. If people try to understand this Krishna conscious movement, Prabhupada says very nicely here. So conscious movement scientifically and philosophically with their best knowledge and judgment and try to cooperate, there will be peace all over the world. In essence, the method is very simple. We need to chant. Prabhupada is saying, we just have, you don't have to go and understand so many things. Let chant. That's what he started this movement. Everyone knows this. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And follow the regulative principles, 4 regulative principles, right? By following the regulative principles, we'll be avoiding the 4 pillars of sinful life. And by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, we will be associating with God constantly. Thus, there will be peace among all causes of men. So that is how we can bring peaceful to society, because we are trying to become peaceful ourselves by chanting Mahamantra and following 4 regulative principles. So that is what we just completed. Third one. Now we are moving to 4th topic, knowing Krishna as he is. So we will see what Prabhupada is saying here. Most of the things Prabhupada quoted. We do not need any high qualification to offer prayers to Supreme Personality of Godhead. See, Prabhupada started in the beginning. We all know this lecture of Leelamrita, like, so we no need these are all hippies. They doesn't know anything, didn't know anything. So they all joined, and many people take an initiation after they come to know, after they started leaving therefore started following 4 regulative principles, started chanting and all. That things happened. That was the thing created by Prabhupada. So whatever our social or intellectual position may be, we can offer prayers. Whatever position we are, we don't need to be Brahman or Shudra, Kshatriya, whatever position we in a material position. So we do not have to be very learned or very scholarly, nor do we have to be present our prayers in nicely selected, very presentation way. Nothing required for this to become to understand this. None of this is required. Although if it is there, it is nice, very nice. Prabhupada is saying it is, if it is there, good. But if it is not there, no need to worry. We simply have to express our feelings. But in order to be able to do this, we have to be aware of our position. What is our position? Jivera Swarupa Hari, Krishnera Nityadas, right? So our internal position is, we are servant of Lord's servant. Once we are aware of our position, our feelings can be expressed sincerely and automatically. So, moving to what Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu says in Shikshastakam verse 4. Na dhanam, na janam, na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitama jagadisha kamahi, mama janmani janmanishware, bhavata bhakti rahaitu ki tvai. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor have I any desire to enjoy beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. What I want only is that I may have your costless devotional service in my life, birth after birth after birth. So always I want to be in the devotional service of you. Who says this? Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? So this is what he says in Shastakam. Again, he says, Ainanda Tanucha Kinkaram Patitamma Vishami Bhavam Budhau Kripaya Tava Pada Pankajastu Doli Sadharam Vichintaya. O son of Maharajananda, I am your eternal servitor, and although I am so somehow or other, I have fallen in the ocean of birth and death. Please, therefore, pick me up from this ocean of death and fix me as one of the atoms of your lotus feet. This is what Mahaprabhu is teaching in Shikshashtakam. So in Bhagavad Gita 10.8, Lord says to Arjuna, Aham sarvasya prabho matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. I am the source of everything. From me, the entire creation flows. Knowing this, the wise worship me with all their hearts. That's what Lord says in 10.8. So you just have to worship me knowing this. And 15.7, Mamai Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana Manasa Sastani Andriyani Prakriti Stani Kashati. The living entities in this conditioned world are my fragmental parts and they are eternal. But due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the six senses, which are include the mind. So this is what happens in if we entangle in this material world. So Brahma says in Brahma Samhita, like Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadi Radhi Govinda Sarva Karana Karana. Krishna, who is known Govinda as the supreme Godhead, he has an eternal knowledge, blissful spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He has no other origin, and he is the prime cause of all causes. Who's saying this? Brahma himself. So again, Chintamani, this is the whole Brahma Samhita is there. We can read whole Brahma Samhita. It is stated in, Brahma states everything in Brahma Samhita about Lord. So I'm moving on that. We can read that. Everyone knows that. Most of the people reads that. So in Bhagavad Gita 18.6, Lord Krishna says again, Tamema sarva sharanam gacha sarva bhavena bharata tat prasadat param santim stanam prapsyasi sashvatam. O son of Bharata, surrender unto him in all respects so that by his mercy you can have transcendental peace and the eternal abode. So again, Prabhupada says, by hearing the words of Lord Krishna and following them carefully, we will surely attain not only peace in the world, but the supreme peace, Param Shanti. All that is required is that we seek refuge in the lotus feet of Krishna. Just cry for that. Render service unto him by chanting his glories and pushing this Krishna conscious movement in every town and village of the world. So it is Krishna's promise that by such surrender, peace and eternal life will come automatically. This is what Prabhupada says in to knowing Krishna as his. So knowing, then moving to fifth topic, knowing Krishna's energies. So all the energies which we must know, right? Without knowing, as Prabhupada said in previous topic, that without knowing also fine, you can do only chanting and do other devotion. But knowing is good, we can preach others. For Krishna, there is no difference between material and spiritual energy. For him, it is all the same. Sometimes electricity works for cooling purposes, and sometimes it works for heating purpose, right? But the energy generated from the electric powerhouse. Prabhupada is giving nice analogy here. power is all the same. Power is coming, whether it is cooling or heating. So in the car also, where we in the summer time we put cooling system, and in the winter time we switch on the heater. So this is what, but generated by the heater, the battery only. So that is what, acting in different ways. In a town, there may be a department of welfare and a department of police. In the eyes of the government, both are the same. For both are subsidiary part of the government. But for the individual, they render different services. We have to go different places, right? To do one services here and another place. There are so many departments under under the government. So the material energy may be working in different ways. That may not be very pleasant to the living entity, but that does not mean that material energy is not liked by Krishna. It is as important as spiritual energy, but it is engaged to punish the condition. So very clearly says this Krishna, Lord, that it is engaged to punish the conditions. So we are all conditioned. So we come here to be independent of Lord, to enjoy. So we want to enjoy, but we are getting punished here. Just as the police department is engaging, punishing in criminals, right? We are in Durga, right? In the jail. So she is the caretaker. How we can go out? We have a Durga as the Durga is standing outside the jail. She is the jailer. How we can go out and enjoy, right? That is the reason we come here and want to enjoy. So Krishna cannot distribute inferior energy because he is not inferior. He is always superior, spiritual, and therefore his energy is always spiritual. So again, Prabhupada says that we are the living entities within the material energy, and we are in this position because we wanted to dominate material nature. Krishna has given us the facility, saying, "All right, you enjoy." Right? We want to become independent, so we came here and we are enjoying. When we understand Krishna in perfection, we can understand that there is in actuality no inferior or material energy, but that everything is spiritual. There is no material, there is inferior, nothing. Everything is spiritual. Vaishnavas are concerned with the background of the loss of material nature. So when we understand Krishna perfectly, then this distinction of superior and inferior energies will disappear. Whatever is engaged in the service of Krishna is superior energy. In the higher sense, everything is serving Krishna. And those who are highly elevated understand this. That is what we are today talking about, elevation to Krishna consciousness, right? Whatever Prabhupada says, correct. So he has not to strive for wealth. For all wealth is his, nor for knowledge. For all knowledge is his, nor for power. For all power is his, nor for beauty, fame, or renunciation. All Lord's only, right? For they are all his is full, nor does he directly manage universal affairs, nor he has many assistants who can conduct affairs while he remains in his abode. He is in his abode and enjoying with Radharani and all the gopis. So he no need to bother what is happening here. So it is Ishopanishad says that mantra 4. So I'll read the translation. The personality of Godhead, although fixed in his abode, is more swift than the mind and can overcome all other running. The powerful demigods cannot approach him. Although in one place he has control over those who supply the air and rain. He surpasses all in excellences. So when we go through Ishopanishad, we understand that how Lord sitting in one position, everything controls within. Even though he's enjoying sitting in one place, he controls everything. That's what Prabhupada given in one of the analogy in previous topics, like one of the German person, he visited India. So he was going through different gods. He was searching for some spiritual things. So he was searching. He was going through, like he was in West Bengal, going through all Kali, Durga, on temples. So he was going through that, and he was seeing, in a different action, very big action, like the Ma Durga is killing the demons and having the big mala of, the heads, the demons had become mala for Ma Durga, like this different. He was thinking, it is no worse than, like he was thinking like the horror movie in Hollywood. So like that, then he come to Vrindavan and he saw that Lord, Krishna, he's enjoying with Radharani, he's in the threefold form and with flute, and that form he understood that, that kind of people who have a little bit, even though he's from Germany, he had a little inclination towards Lord, and he could understand who is the original Lord. He come immediately. He understood that it seems the Lord is none other than Lord Krishna only. So he is the super. So the personality of Godhead, although fixed in like this in Ishopanishad, we can go through all the 18 mantras, right? 18 mantras, yes. So then we have last topic. Some more where we are Krishna's parts and parcel and have been created to give pleasure to Krishna. The chief pleasure potency is Radharani, and so Radha Krishna are always together. Whereas the material energy is conducted by the external potency, Maya. The spiritual world is conducted by the internal potency, Radharani. We offer prayer to Radharani because she is the pleasure potency of Krishna. So always we say, in our movement we always first like Hare, that is the pleasure potency of Lord, right? Radharani, right? So the very word Krishna means all attractive, but Radharani is so great that she attracts Krishna. If Krishna is always attractive to everyone and Radharani is attractive to Krishna, how can we imagine the position of Srimati Radharani? We should try humbly to understand and offer her our obeisance, saying, "Oh Radharani, you are so dear to Krishna. You are the daughter of King Vishubhanu, and you are Krishna's beloved. We offer you our respectful obeisance unto you." Radharani is very dear to Krishna, and if we approach Krishna through the mercy of Radharani, we can easily attain him. If Radharani recommends a devotee, Krishna immediately accepts him, however foolish he may be. It is possible, as Prabhupada says, I have copied as it is. It is possible when Prabhupada says. Right. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, but he is Krishna accepting the propensities of Radharani. Radharani is always feeling separation from Krishna. And similarly, in the position of Radharani, Lord Chaitanya was always feeling that separation. Furthermore, those who follow the teaching of Lord Chaitanya should experience and release the feelings of separation, not of meeting Krishna. That's what Prabhupada says. We should not, we should have always separation of Krishna. Not I want to meet Krishna. I want to have darshan of Krishna. The Goswami disciples of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he most perfect and highly elevated being, never said, "I have seen Krishna," even though they are taken, like Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, they had, direct darshan of Mahaprabhu, and he revealed what he is, right? So they never said, I seen Krishna, I have seen Krishna. Instead, they constantly cried, "Where is Radharani? Where are Lalita and Vishaka and the other damsels of Varandavana?" We have to follow in the footsteps of the Goswamis and search out Radha and Krishna in this way. This is the process of recommended by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the process of worship in separation. So again, the devotional service begins with the tongue, not the legs or eyes or ears. The tongue must be utilized to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and take Krishna Prasadam, right? Thus the tongue has a dual function, and by utilizing it in this way, we will realize Krishna. We cannot see Krishna with our material eyes, nor hear about him with material ears. not touch him with our hands. But if we engage our tongue in his service, he will reveal himself saying, hey, here I am. So we have, and for that, to reach that stage, we have to take shelter of Guru. What we see in the morning, samsara dhava nalalidha loka pranaya karunya ghana ganatmam praptasya kalyana gunarnamasya vande guru shri chana charanara. When the spiritual master is receiving benediction from the ocean of mercy, just as the cloud pours water on the forest fire to extinguish it, so the spiritual master extinguishes the blazing fire of material existence. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my spiritual master. So with the help of spiritual master, only we can understand this concept. So now, yes, I will. So one more sloka in this Bhagavad Gita 7.19, Lord says that Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanam Mam Prapadyante Vasudeva Sarvam Iti Sa Mahatam Subhava. After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes, and all that is such a great soul is very rare. So surrender to Krishna is the point, right? The whole point is surrender to Krishna. So I will go to 6th. Prabhu, I need 5 more minutes to wind up. I hope that's okay.
Okay, Prabhu.
So taking to Krishna consciousness. So we learned all the things, what is the processes, how, what, without spiritual master. With the spiritual master only we can understand things or not. So with how we can take it to Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada says here, our eternal relationship with God is Sabhajana. God is great and we are subordinate. He is the predominator and we are the predominated. The duty of the subordinate is to please the predominator. Similarly, if we want to be happy, we must learn how to make Krishna satisfied or happy. This is the process of Krishna consciousness, right? But how is to be understood that Supreme Lord satisfied by our service and or labor? It is actually possible to perfect our service or occupational duty. Everyone has some service to perform according to his designations, right? He may be in Indian, American, whatever, religion or a country, or in any case, he is meant to do some sort of work, and that work is his occupational duty. Perfection of duty can be tested by seeing whether the Supreme Lord is satisfied by its execution. The Supreme Lord's satisfaction can be tested by whom? Lord's representative, not me, not we, right? The spiritual master. Therefore, it is important to seek out a real representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and work under him. If he is satisfied, that means it is guaranteed that Lord is satisfied. That is explained by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Yasya prasada bhagat prasado, yasya prasada nagati kutopi. Dhyan to tasya yasya sandhyam vande guru Sri Charanaravinda. By the mercy of the spiritual master, one is benedicted by the mercy of Krishna. Without the grace of the spiritual master, no one can make any advancement. Therefore, I should always remember the spiritual master. At least 3 times a day, at least, I should offer my respectful obeisance unto the lotus feet of my spiritual master. The spiritual master is the representative of the Supreme Lord. How does he become the representative? So we may have the question of this. We have a lot of scriptures. The spiritual master is he who he have captured the word of a particular discipline succession. He simply has to carry the message from the authority as it is without personal interpretation. Right. So the original spiritual discipline succession was broken in between, like so Bhagavad Gita, like Lord said, we all come across this. Then he spoke to Arjuna 5,000 years. But the best way to understand Bhagavad Gita is to accept bona fide spiritual master. And Lord says here again in 9.27, Yat Karoshi, Yat Karoshi, Yat Jivoshi, Dadashi, Yat Tapasyasi Kaunteya, Tat Kurusha, Kurusva, Madharpanam. O son of Kunti, all that you do, all that you eat, all that you offer and give away, as well as austerities that you may perform, should be done as an offering unto me. This is what Lord said. By accepting Krishna in this spirit, we can attain complete knowledge. So then again, Prabhupada said, if we are sincere, we are get a sincere spiritual master. So we are sincere, we definitely get a master, right? Spiritual master, and we can approach our Shiksha Guru and we can find out. If however we want to be cheated, Krishna will send us a cheater, and we will be cheated throughout our lives. And that is actually going on. For those who do not want to understand Krishna as he is, but want to understand by dint of their own imperfect vision, Krishna, God, remains unknown. In the whole process, I will skip this. Brahma Samhita's things are again given. If we living entities want to actually associate with Radharani, that may be possible. Prabhupada says associate with Radharani, that may be possible. Although she is not an ordinary woman, we can become associate of Radharani by qualifying ourselves in advanced devotional service. Only by advanced devotional service we can associate with Radharani. In devotional service, there is no frustration. Even if we perform only a small amount of, it will grow. Devotion, so only the devotion service, it will not waste, right? It will not go in vain. We have in Bhagavad Gita. So we gone across that. It will only devotional service will carry forward to next life or next birth. Otherwise, not everything will be finished here only. So every intelligent man should at least experiment with Krishna. Prabhupada very strongly says that he should say, all right, I have been enjoying this, or eating, meeting, sleeping, everything I did. These things were available for me to enjoy in the bird and animals' bodies also. Now in this life, let me restrict the 4 principles of animalistic life: eating, sleeping, defending, and mating, and let me devote my time to developing Krishna consciousness. So this is what, and again, Lord says that Manmana Bhavamat Bhaktoya Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru Mam Avashya Satyame. This is already we had gone through that. Always remember me, become a devotee, and worship me. So always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. This is the word we can always think of. The somehow or other we have come to contact with material nature, and because of the mind and the sixth sense, we are struggling hard to exist. And we talk on different religion and the dharma and many things given by Srila Prabhupada. But what we can see when Sanatana Goswami inquired from Lord Chaitanya, what am I? Why am I? Why am I always in a miserable condition? What is the position of all living entities? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately answered that the real identity is that you are the servant of Lord. We should not understand the word, servant in the sense of materialistic servant. To become servant of God is a great position. This is what Prabhupada is saying. So we have to always, so Bhagavad Gita, read Bhagavad Gita accepted as a supreme authority. Sometimes Krishna descends personally, and sometimes he descends by his incarnation, sometimes he descends as sound vibration, and sometimes he descends as a devotee. There are many different categories of avatars in this present age. Krsna has descended in his holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also confirmed that in this age of Kali, Krishna has descended in the form of sound vibration. Sound is one of the form which the Lord takes. Therefore, it is stated that there is no difference between Krishna and his name. So Again, it's the same thing, Krishna Hare Krishna chanting, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That is the only kalau nasteva, 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 gati anyata. So I will end. I have taken 10-15 minutes extra. Please forgive me, Prabhu. So I didn't understand. I have made so many slides, but I didn't think of it will go this much. So please forgive me. Please thank you for giving me this opportunity. I will end this. If anything, any mistake, I was when I was going through, I must have made mistakes so fast. So please forgive me. So please, I'll end this class. वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यः एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनन्तकोटि वैष्णव की जय. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna, Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. So very nice class, Prabhu, simple and clear. So Jagan Prabhu has given a good comment. Hare Krishna, simple, clear, up to the point. So many verses quoted. Very good presentation template used, bright and clear text. To have the book name and topic displayed in most of the slides is very noteworthy. It helped to focus on the point of discussion. It is amazing to see that Prabhu appeared to cover the book in full. Srila Prabhupada beckons us to see the truth of this world. It is up to us to elevate ourselves. So more than 30 plus shloka references are there in the small book. Every book of Srila Prabhupada is complete in itself. We can learn and contemplate whole life. Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Thank you.
There is one question which is there in the chat box. Maybe you can also see. From it says that Prabhuji, you said some Brahmins are good and bad. Are you referring to caste? Probably I think is referring to by birth. My understanding is that humans are classified based on 4 varnas and 3 gunas.
I'll say my words, Prabhu. Please add on to that. As per my understanding, I'll tell. Yes, what I meant to say is yes, the so-called the caste. What we say, caste. I am Shudra, they are Brahmins, and all those things. That is, I have quoted most of the things as a caste. But Prabhupada is saying very clearly said there is no casteism. In spiritual when we take up Krishna consciousness, there is we don't go with the casteism, whether it's Brahmin or Kshatriya or Shudra. Everyone is Shudra, Prabhupada says. So how it is, how we can elevate to Brahminical with the devotional service. In the three modes of like when we having a goodness and cultivate goodness in our life and doing the all devotional service, engaging our own body, mind, and senses in the Lord's service, then we elevate into the second, like that initiation. First initiation, it is taking a birth, and second initiation, that is actually called Brahminical initiation. That then the person become pure Brahmin. My understanding is Prabhu. If you can add more on that.
Yeah, Prabhu, that's right. Hare Krishna. So basically, the reference which Sundar Prabhu has mentioned from your class is by birth, whereas what we are means good and bad is by birth, whereas what we want to achieve is based on the actual qualities, is based on 4 varnas. That is what we want to actually achieve. There are Hare Krishna. Does anybody have any other comments, any other questions? Hare Krishna. We will take one last question if it is there. Okay, Hare Krishna. So thank you once again, Prabhu, for your nice class. So let us all chant one Hare Krishna Mahamantra for Shamchandra Prabhu and his family. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So we have approximately 10 minutes now. So I can see that Nikita and Madhav, they are ready. So which bhajan you are going to sing today, Hare Krishna?
Prabhu, Vrindavana Ramyasthana.
Vrindavana Ramyasthana. So Lavanya Mataji, I think my apologies to you once again. Please accept this because I don't believe today also we will have time for the Narasimha Kavacha chanting. So please forgive me from the bottom of my heart. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. It's okay, bro.
So I request all the devotees to consider this bhajan itself as a prayer. So Vasant Prabhu, if you can put up he has already put up. So Nikita or Madhav, I request you to read the meaning before going into the song. But before that, I just wanted to request all devotees that we have a disciple of His Holiness B.B. Govind Swami Maharaj who left his body today. And B.B. Govind Swami Maharaj is also affected by COVID. And Pankajangri Prabhu also is continuing in the same problem. And like that, there are a lot of devotees who are going through different circumstances problems, including many in India also. So I can see that. One minute. Jagan Prabhu has shared a file. Okay, I am not able to open that. So Jagan Prabhu, what is this, Prabhu, if you don't mind?
One reference, Janmana Jayate Shudra, that shloka reference I sent it, people can see it. And also I just captured one important slide that it attracted me in the picture, but that's okay. For the want of time, we can go to move on to the program, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So we will try to share it in the group and we will put it in the blog also. So when the bhajan is going on, please chant and pray from the bottom of your hearts. Over to you, Nikita and Madhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So, song name is Vrindavana Ramyasthana. Author is Narottam Das Thakur. I'll read the translation. The first verse. Beautiful Vrindavana is filled with Chintamani gems and many jewel palaces and temples. Many regal swans play in the water of the Yamuna, and in those waters a splendid golden lotus flower grows. Second one, in the middle of that lotus is a golden place surrounded by 8 petals. On these 8 petals, the 8 principal gopis reside, and in the center, Lord Shyam Sundara and beautiful Srimati Radharani sit on the jewel throne. Third, the verse, the great beauty of the divine couple and the charming, joking and laugher continuously showers nectar everywhere. Narottam Das says, I pray that these blissful, eternal, transcendental pastimes of the divine couple may be always manifest in my heart. Hare Krishna.
Vrindavana Ramyasthana Divya Chintamani Dhama Ratana Mandira Manohara. Vrindavana Ramyasthana Divya Chintamani Dhama Ratana Mandira मध्ये रत्नासाने बसियाछे दुई जाने श्यामा संगे सुंदरी राधिका तारा मध्ये रत्नासाने बसियाछे दुई जाने श्यामा संगे सुंदरी राधिका ओरुपाला भन्य राशि अमिया परिचे खासी हास्य परिहासा संभाषणे ओरुपाला भन्य राशि अमिया परिचे खासी हास्य परिहासा संभाषणे नरोत्तम दस कोय नित्य लीला सुखमोय सदा गुरु का मोरा माने नरोत्तम दस कोय नित्य लीला सुखमोय सदा गुरु का मोरा माने वृंदावन रम्यस्थान दिव्य चिंतामणि धाम रतन मंदिर मनोहरा वृंदावन रम्यस्थान दिव्य चिंतामणि धाम रतन मंदिर मनोहरा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे वृंदावन रम्यस्थान दिव्य चिंतामणि धाम रतन मंदिर मनोहरा वृंदावन रम्यस्थान दिव्य चिंतामणि धाम रतन मंदिर मनोहरा। हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय।
श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्ण।
Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Very good collaborative effort, very melodious, huh? Very melodious and very timely also. Hare Krishna. Thank you once again. It was very I believe it was very kind of reflective and remembering in nature. So anybody has any other announcements, any other prayer requests? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Jagan Prabhu, you would like to add anything? Hare Krishna.
No, Prabhu, everything is fine. Thanks a lot.
Hare Krishna.
I
So
think one suggestion is that I think every day we tend to miss the Narsimha Kavacha because chanting Narsimha Kavacha in the midst of so many difficulties is also an important thing. The two chanting together is very important. If possible, if it is acceptable to the organizers, I request that Narsimha Kavacha, we can start with Narsimha Kavacha. After the initial Kirtan, quickly start with Narsimha Kavacha and go to the class, so that even if 5 minutes here and there or there, we don't have to skip Narsimha Kavacha. Because if you announce that there is Narsimha Kavacha and skipping will be just for time of 5-10 minutes may not be that good. That's my humble request. So from tomorrow onwards, if we do it, I think we can put Narsimha Kavacha in beginning, because as we remember, Srila Prabhupada books is read and review is important. But the need of the hour is also that we need to very sincerely together collectively pray for so many people who are really suffering a lot. Devotees, our devotees, even not devotees. Today I happened to talk with some of my members in the India team. I was just trying to inquire with them whether is media hyping the news or is it real, because from several places I got messages from my friends who are in Australia, UK, asking me to tell how is my family in India. So I was wondering why they're sending me messages like that. Is media is doing too much hype? So all of them have confirmed that what we see in the media is actually not a reality. Actual reality is far more worse than what is shown in media. So there's a lot of suffering is there, a lot of anxiety is there in India. So we should all pray for their welfare, so that it bounces back, it fights back at least to some level of manageable normalcy. So it's a need of the hour that we need to pray, and I think Narsimha Kocha is should be an important part of program. It should not be skipped. Yeah, Hare Krishna.
okay, Prabhu. So we'll start from tomorrow, and yeah, we will see how it goes. So after the Kirtan, we will start with Narsimha Kavacha and then go into the presentation. Hare Krishna. So thank you once again to all the devotees for joining the Ramadan program. Let us all chant on Hare Krishna Maha Mantra for the benefit of each and for the spiritual progress of each and every one of us. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So by Krishna's mercy, we shall all meet at the same time, 5:45 tomorrow evening. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha, kripa sindhubhya eva cha, patitanam pavanebhyo, vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. So with everyone's permission, we are ending the class today. So tomorrow we are having the followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So two interesting acharyas being presented by Chiranjeeva Sham Prabhu and one senior devotee from India, Vamsidhari Prabhu. So let us all meet and then hear the nectar. Hare Krishna. So with everyone's permission,